sort of say quick hello. I'm going to make a cup of tea um, and watch a bit of Netflix in a bit. But I thought I'd say quick hello. Again, I did a quick live earlier and got in some really good conversation. I enjoyed it. It was good. And I was talking about the Bible. I was talking about the New Atheist movement. I was talking about Christian apologetics. I was talking about ended to talk about reincarnation at one point and karma, the karmic system of belief and weighing up souls and sort of where do souls go after we leave this world, and what is a good system of how you think about those that sort of paradigm. But right now, I want to talk about Star Wars. I was just thinking about Star Wars, making a cup of tea, and I'm thinking about Star Wars. And my thoughts were like, you know what? I miss the good old days of Star Wars. I know the prequel era didn't have necessarily the best films ever. And I know Revenge of the Sith is the best out of the prequels, but at least there was more excitement when George Lucas was running Lucasfilm as opposed to Disney Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy and all that shambolic debacle of a run. I really miss good old fashioned Star Wars, where actually we got Star Wars films. We were excited about Star Wars. There was, the fan base didn't feel divided into a fandom war, or even if there was a bit of a fandom war, it wasn't on the level that it went to. A lot of people who I think were loyal Star Wars fans, I think have almost given up on Star Wars. I personally haven't given up on Star Wars, but I do feel my excitement levels about Star Wars are not there anymore. And I was one of the most excited, happiest people about Star Wars that you could meet. I really was. I had that sort of childlike exuberance and excitement about the Star Wars cinematic universe, and that I feel now I'm more pragmatic about Star Wars and more meh. I don't have that confidence that a Star Wars project's going to be absolutely amazing anymore. I just feel like it could be okay. Probably might be, well, it almost feel like if we get a Star Wars project that's average these days, we've probably done quite well. And I think you just think with Star Wars, that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't be thinking that with Star Wars, if you get an average project, you've done okay. Star Wars should be elite level entertainment, hero's journey, paradigm. Star Wars should be top tier science fantasy, cowboys in space. It should be top tier stuff. Look at the OT, the original trilogy. It was pioneering stuff. What George Lucas was doing, late 70s, early 80s with Star Wars was pioneering stuff. Inventing special effects that had never really been done before. It was edge of your seat stuff, and it was, you knew that you were getting an immersive experience and something that was groundbreaking when you were watching Star Wars. Even the prequels had some groundbreaking visual effects as well. And everything about Star Wars used to feel big. The music, the John Williams score, the Industrial Light and Magic Skywalker sound, the big sets, everything about Star Wars used to feel big, used to feel epic. And maybe part of that is because going to Disney Plus and having Star Wars as sort of Netflix style TV shows, maybe that's taken a little bit of that feeling away, but you can still have big feeling productions for TV shows. Even a Disney Plus show can, or in that sort of format or medium, can if it's done right, can really light up the fan base and be very exciting if it's done right. But I feel that a big part of Star Wars' downfall was obviously George Lucas selling the company, hate selling the company to Disney. He was obviously, you know, let me think of it like this. Think of it as a what if. What if Steven Spielberg bought it and Dreamcast had it instead? Or what if another company brought Lucasfilm and allowed George Lucas to have more influence over the stories going forward? I'm not saying George Lucas is perfect, but would it be better than what we've got now? Obviously we can't. We don't have a time machine to run that back or to play into those sort of virtual timelines, so to speak. But if you think about it, Star Wars as an IP, I think, has been devalued by Disney Lucasfilm, by Kathleen Kennedy and all the ones in charge of Disney Lucasfilm. As an IP, it's been devalued. How do you manage to devalue Star Wars? I mean, I don't know how you do it. How do you manage to devalue Star Wars? Yeah, Josh, how you doing, mate? Yes, Andor is probably the one silver lining of Star Wars. Andor didn't feel Star Wars, but it was a intelligently written show. It was a well-written show, and it got. I mean, the first season of Andor was very, very, very good. The prison arc, those 3 episodes where they were when Andor was in prison, phenomenal storytelling. So Andor's like one of the little rays of hope, a bit of light in the Star Wars Disney Lucasfilm sort of iteration. So Andor's good. Andor's very good, well written. Tony Gilroy, very well done. That was one of the things. Rogue One was a good film. The Han Solo film wasn't that bad. Wasn't the worst film ever. It's just, I don't understand how you manage to devalue Star Wars as an IP. I mean, you'd have to be pretty stupid to do that. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand how you do that. How do you do that? I mean, I just don't. You'd have to do everything wrong to, essentially, if we could time travel back to the point at which Kathleen Kennedy was taken over and Disney Lucasfilm got Star Wars, you'd have to be like, okay, guys, let's all sit down and decide what would you need to do to ruin Star Wars. And there'd be like about 5 or 6, maybe even more, 7 or 8 key things you'd have to do at the same time to destroy Star Wars. And even then, you'd have to really be intentional about it. You'd have to really put effort into it, because Star Wars is so powerful and is such a pop culture royalty. Pop culture royalty. It's instantiated in our culture. It's part of pop culture. It's part of the fabric of the zeitgeist of the film world and of the storytelling world. That you'd have to do all those. You'd have to deliberately do a lot of things wrong to tank Star Wars, and yet that's what we've got. We've got incompetent leadership at Disney Lucasfilm, and they've done 5, 6, 7, 8 things wrong all at the same time and completely tanked Star Wars. How do you do that? How do you manage to do that? I don't think you could do it by an accident. I think you'd have to deliberately do that. I mean, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you tank Star Wars. Yet they managed to do it. They managed to tank Star Wars. Solo suffered because of the backlash we as fans had towards the Last Jedi movie, Rian Johnson's Last Jedi film, in which they gave us a depowered, depressed Luke Skywalker. Imagine this: we've been waiting since the Return of the Jedi movie. We were waiting to see Luke Skywalker back on the big screen. We were yearning to see Luke Skywalker, one of our favourite Golden Age heroes, one of our favourite heroes from the Star Wars franchise, and we wanted Luke Skywalker back on the big screen, back in the cinema. And they thought it was clever to give us a depowered, hermit, grumpy Luke Skywalker. And what can you say? What can you say to that? That's what they thought that we wanted. We were waiting, I don't know what, 20 years or something like that. And that was the version of Luke Skywalker that they wanted to give us. And the fans were like, yeah, well, no, obviously it's all history now, but the fans were like, nah, we're not having that. And the Han Solo film took the brunt of it. Fans were like, okay, if you want to give us a depowered Luke Skywalker, then we're going to depower you at the box office, and we're not going to the Solo film. And that's what they did. That's what didn't support the Han Solo film. So the Han Solo film wasn't the worst film ever. I think it's okay, but yeah, man. Oh my, Josh, you know what? Don't get me started about John Boyega. John Boyega is a very talented actor, very talented indeed, very talented young man. And yes, he was destined to be the main Jedi. He should have been front and center, the main protagonist, and Rey should have been up there with him. But he should have been. John Boyega's story of stormtrooper turned Jedi is an interesting and compelling narrative, and he should have been front and center. He should have been front and center. And I think Kathleen Kennedy was like, nope, I'm not having that, brother. And so instead of that, they gaslit all the black Star Wars fans into thinking we were going to get this, almost like black Luke Skywalker coming through in Finn. And it was like, nah, we're not letting you have that. Disney Lucasfilm don't write strong black characters. Every black character that they put on is like a damsel in distress, damsel state, running around screaming Rey, 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 just screaming Rey all the time. That's all we got. Just scream Rey, Rey. That's it. Alan, how you doing, mate? Yeah, bro, I do like football. You may tell by the football shirts behind me. I'm an Aston Villa fan, but I do like football as a whole. Proper football. English football. Not American football. Yeah, man. Football. Villa fan. I think the thing is, what was insulting about what they did with John Boyega is they turned him into a damsel in distress as well. They turned him that he was just being whipped from pillar to post, beaten up all the time. Beaten up, damsel in distress, damsel needed to be rescued all the time, bumbling around, almost seeming like he's incompetent. Finn, and it's like, no, man, no, that's not. We're not accepting that. No, don't gaslight your fan. Don't gaslight your own. Your own. Oh, it's all kind of we're gonna. This sort of go against your expectation, and it's like, no. We don't want that. We don't want that. If you're setting someone up to be the main Jedi, then make him the main Jedi. We're not accepting that. So that's that. That's that, peeps. So a bit of it, just me ranting a little bit about Star Wars, but I missed a bit. I think I'm just feeling that nostalgia of a good old Star Wars film, and missing those times of feeling excited about Star Wars. It's really funny, guys. That feeling of being excited about a project, a film, a movie, even a video game. That feeling of being excited about your favorite genre, your favorite story, hero's journey narrative, hero's journey story. it's priceless. And when you can capture that in an IP, when you can capture that and monetize it and build a fan base, a community around it, which is what George Lucas did with Star Wars, it should be protected and it should be valued. It should be looked after and really cared for and nurtured. And that was complete antithesis, the complete opposite of what Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm did, Disney Lucasfilm did with Star Wars. They didn't look after it. They didn't value it. They didn't value the fans, the loyal fans that they've had for a long time. They didn't honour the tradition. And yes, you can go forward. You can do new things. You don't have to, completely just stay in nostalgia. You can do new things with Star Wars or a treasured IP. You can, but you have to pay respect and homage to the lore and to the paradigm that it was that is that project, the lore, the canon of that said universe. You have to show some kind of decency towards it. You have to show some respect towards the universe, the extended universe, the books, the whole IP of Star Wars. You have to show some respect to what's come before. You don't just tear it up and set it on fire, which is what they did essentially. You don't do that. You just don't. And look at the state Star Wars is in now. Look at the state it's in now. Star Wars is an IP that someone like me is one of the biggest Star Wars fans that's ever been. And there's a plethora of others. There's a myriad of others that are big Star Wars fans, even some more than me. Just don't have that excitement about Star Wars anymore. I'll watch Ahsoka season 2, and I will watch the projects that they're bringing out. But Andor was pretty good. So I enjoyed season 1 more. Mandalorian was good at first. The first 2 seasons of Mandalorian were good, and there was a lot of hope in the Mandoverse. And then season 3 just for me tanked it. It's just what are you doing? So even the things that they did right, which is Mandalorian season 1 and 2, they found a way to tank it. So wow. Season 2 of Mandalorian was great. It was a really good show. Season 3 is what have you done? So yeah, that's the current state of Star Wars. I think if you're thinking, my question to you would be now, if you took over Disney Lucasfilm, if you were the head of Disney Lucasfilm, what would you do to save Star Wars? That is my question for you now. If you were the head of Disney Lucasfilm, what would you do to save Star Wars? That's my question to you. That's my question to you. What would you do to save Star Wars? You get new writers, reboot the whole thing. I'd reboot. Personally, I'd probably reboot. You'd have to reboot it. I don't know what else you'd do to save Star Wars. I think you'd have to reboot. Maybe bringing in a multiverse sort of storyline in and almost rebooting it because of that. That's probably what you'd have to do, I think. So anyway, guys, this was just a quick. My last stream earlier was live. Was a bit of an hour. So this one's more of a quick one. So I'm going to wrap it up now. But thank you for all you guys commenting, and yeah, man, let's think about these things. Star Wars. We grew up with Star Wars, and Star Wars means a lot to a lot of people because we grew up with it. It's part of it. We have nostalgia for it. Yeah, Josh, I would sell it to someone else who cared. Yeah, Josh, I think you're absolutely right. Star Wars will only work if the people who are running Star Wars care about it. If they treat it as precious, this thing is tied to so many people's childhoods and it's part of the fabric of culture, of the zeitgeist of our age, the zeitgeist of the time. So yeah, I think you're right, Josh. I think you're absolutely right, Josh. Josh, do me a favor as well, Josh. I can see you're a Star Wars fan. Make sure you sub the channel. Make sure you sub Christian Fandom Geek, because I'm gonna do some more Star Wars episodes actually. So make sure you hit the sub button. And Josh, also there's a lot of episodes on Christian Fandom Geek already, which you will probably like, because there are a lot of Star Wars episodes on my channel. So actually, if you ever look on there, you'll find some Star Wars episodes for you, mate. Yeah, man. So anyway, God bless you guys and girls, and be safe, be good, use the Force. May the Force be with you. May the Lord be with you. I'll be with you again very soon on Christian Fandom Geek Productions, which is a part of the Red 5 network of podcast shows. So make sure to smash the like button, share with friends and family. You know what to do. God bless you. Thanks, Josh.